Improvisation can be very special and a lot of fun. But what's the secret behind it, and can anyone do it? I'm going to tell you today, and I'll be back right after this commercial break. I'm back. So, what is improvisation? Well, coming up with things on the spot, isn't it? You just create something or come up with an answer or talk about something or act in a certain way or do something that you haven't prepared and you haven't practiced, and you don't have the possibility of stopping and starting again. In a sense, that's improvisation. Can anyone do it? Well, we all do it in daily life, whether we realize or not. But can anyone do it musically on an instrument like the piano? My 1.5-year-old cousin was here yesterday, and he got on our piano inside and he started improvising. It sounded like this. What's wrong with that? He was improvising. Oh, maybe the question to ask then is, will your improvisation be nice enough for someone to want to listen to it? For my nephew, not right now, but when he gets a bit older, I'm sure we will. He loves music and the piano already. It's a good start. But for those of you who are a bit older, what about you? Can you improvise on the piano? What do you need to know? What do you need to do? I'm going to share a few thoughts, and maybe it will help you. And at the end, you can send me a message or send me even some clips of yourself playing on the piano. The first thing to say is that this is a part of my life. I've been playing the piano, I think, since I was 4 years old. Many times I wanted to stop, especially in my teen years. And I have to thank my mother for forcing me in a nice way to continue my lessons, my piano lessons, and keeping me on that right path. I tell that story in one of my podcast episodes, which I'll put a link to below, and you can listen to it, and you may enjoy some of the funny things in there also. So for many years, I've been playing on the piano, and it's really an extension of me. I really feel it that way. And I think for anyone to improvise on an instrument, that's important, that you feel closely linked with the instrument. And the only way really that you can do that is something you're not going to want to hear. Spend time. Spend time on the instrument, and that means practicing and sitting and putting aside other things that you may want to do, which may be more fun at the time being, but actually spending time on the piano. Recently, I read a book by Malcolm Gladwell about, it's called The Outliers, and in one of the chapters he talks about the Hamburg Theory. And some of you may have heard about it, and he uses the example of the Beatles. Before they became famous, they had to go to Germany to find work. And they were in Hamburg, and I think they spent over a year there. And they had to play every night for many, many, many hours in venues which were not very famous, and they just had to play to earn an income. And Malcolm's theory is that they had to spend all that time in Hamburg and play so many hours with each other on their instruments so that they would get very good. And then after that came the benefits of all that, when the rest is history. And it's called the Hamburg Theory. And he specifically says that everyone needs around 10,000 hours of intense work practicing to be very good at something. And that certainly applies to music. That sounds like a long time. We're basically talking about 10 years on and off. I hope this is not too discouraging if you're just starting the piano, but keep at it. Some of you may get more connected with the instrument much quicker. I only know one person in my life that I've heard of who, as a young boy, sat on the piano one day for the first time in his life and started playing. He still plays. That was it. No training whatsoever. He just could play. He's a prodigy. I haven't met anyone else like that. And chances are that if you're watching this, you're probably not one of those people. So, unless you're an amazing prodigy, spending time with the instrument and almost connecting to it on a deeper level is very important. The second principle is a simple one. Relax. You need to be relaxed in your muscles, in your body, to be able to explore and create something. If you're tense, if your fingers are tense, your shoulders are tense, or you're worried and nervous about not getting it right or making mistakes, you're not going to be free enough to improvise. Relax in every sense. Sit down on the piano, and assuming you're feeling connection with the instrument, just let the fingers move on there without judging or prejudging yourself or putting extra pressure on yourself. When I improvise, it depends on my mood, of course, and what's going on my mind and what I'm doing. But when I start playing, and I'll show you now, I'm not thinking so much about what's going to be my second or third or fourth note or bar. I don't. It's not a chess game where you have to plan ahead. Improvisation is when you just start and see where it goes, and you are relaxed in your fingers and your mind, and let your fingers and your ears work together and create something. So if I just start now randomly and I go, I came up with this theme now. I will just develop it some more and do a modulation. I made a mistake, but it doesn't matter. There are no mistakes when you improvise. And so on. When I say mistakes, I mean, obviously, I play the note that clash with everything else. But when you're improvising, you don't worry about that too much, because mistakes or notes that are out of the ordinary can actually lead you to something else that you can discover. So there are no mistakes. It's a bit like jazz, especially this style. If you're improvising another style, it may be less forgiving. But don't approach improvisation as a very strict exercise. It can't be. It's more freedom than restriction. So relax and explore. And sometimes I may sit and want to improvise or create something and nothing may come. That's fine also. Other days it will just flow. And I guarantee you that you will discover things that you didn't realize your fingers could play. You'll surprise yourself if you have this mentality and approach. And the fingers will lead you to places, and then for me at least, the ears listen to it, and then if they like what they hear, they sort of send signals to the fingers to keep playing that. And then if it's starting to get tired of that theme or that key, I will send a signal to change it to something else. I don't know how it all happens. I'm not a neuro doctor, psychologist, psychiatrist, or whatever else I need to know about that. But there is definitely a link between the instrument, the fingers, the ears, very important listening, and the mind and the feelings. So it's all interconnected. The third thought for today: don't worry about what others say. This is a hard one. We as musicians, artists, and so on, I think we all have insecurities, and we all question ourselves and question what we do all the time. I do. And if you don't do that, you're probably not really improving or doing anything special. So it's part of the creative process. But improvisation is very much something that comes from inside you. It's not like playing a certain genre or a certain well-known piece that has to be done in a certain way. You're free to do what you want to do. So don't think so much about what others think. I mean, if you're enjoying it, if you're enjoying what's coming out, what the sound you're hearing, that's the most important thing. If others like it too, that's a benefit and a bonus. Just be free to express yourself and go on these mini journeys on your instrument. And even if it sounds bland to you at the start, as you get to know the instrument more, and as you relax with the instrument, and as you stop worrying about what people think, I really believe that you will come up with some things that will surprise you. Now, having said all that, I would love to hear your samples. Again, don't worry about what I think, but I would love to hear it just because I find this whole exercise of music and creating very interesting, and there's no right or wrong in this. So if you play an instrument, it doesn't have to be piano, but especially if you play the piano, if you have been working on your own ideas and coming up with improvisations, or if you want to try after listening to this, just record it for me. It doesn't have to be a full thing. It can be half a minute or a minute, and send it to me. I'd love to hear it. I'll give you some feedback if you want. But just the fact that you tried, I think, is very important. So you should be commended for that. Now, I said that you shouldn't worry about what people think, but I'm going to break that rule myself. And I want to know what you think about my latest album, which was all improvisations, by the way. So it's 4 tracks on there. It's called Take 55, Improvisations. It was released on June 20. 55 stands for something that I'll let you guess what it is. There are 4 tracks. Each one is about 12 minutes long. And like I explained to you, I just sat on the piano for each one on different days and played. And the only thing I had was my phone showing me the time, because I wanted to make it around 12 minutes each track. So I was just watching the time. Otherwise, it was just on the spot. And yeah, to be honest, 1 or 2 days when I started playing, it wasn't working. So it's not like all 4 tracks were happened right after each other. Some days it doesn't work, but they're all one-take recordings and full improvisations. And I'd love to hear what you think about it. For me, each one of them is a journey, and I'd love to hear if it also helped you, imagine or go on a musical outing with it, or what feelings did you get from it? Did you like them or not? You're free to say you didn't. I will not unfriend you. But have a listen. I'll share the link below, and let me know if you enjoyed. If you'd like me to do more of those. Not that I have to, but if people are enjoying it, I'll put more of those out, in addition to the other compositions and arrangements and covers I'm doing. So I leave you with a short improvisation now on the spot. I just saw a beautiful black yellow butterfly flying around our garden here in Pyrgos, and I love the beauty of it, and I'm just going to do a short improvisation calling it the Pyrgos butterfly on the spot. Let's see how it sounds. See you next time.